Hey guys, so myself and Josh have been chatting. We've been chatting a few times over the last few months, last few years, really back and forth.
Yeah.
Both spoke at Body Power, both spoke at events with each other and that in the past. And we both run very successful Facebook groups. And we wanted to break down a few of the misconceptions in the industry and also some of the bullshit that's out there. And also just to give you guys some good content. I think that's probably where we want to go with what we're about. So, Josh, why don't you tell? I mean, these guys in your group now watching this, they know who you are. But look, give context as to why they should even listen to you in the first place.
Okay, so basically, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
So I started as a personal trainer in 2007. I was a real rookie. I literally went straight from doing an apprenticeship in a gym to being a PT, £800 a month rent. There you go. You do your thing. And just through hard work, really, no strategy, I got to 40 sessions a week at £35 an hour. I was smashing it. And then, throughout the years, I've gone on through various tasks, fitness managers, PT manager, all that sort of stuff, teaching classes. I've done everything. And then in 2010, I started teaching PT courses. And that was a real eye-opener for me because I was really lucky. When I qualified, I had a mentor who actually knew what the hell he was talking about. However,
what an actual mentor that knew what he was talking about.
Exactly. It was groundbreaking at the time, and it still is. And I then went to work for the training room, who were conveyor belt PT course, 20 people every 6 weeks, bam, bam, bam. It was massively, massively over-promising these guys. They were saying, "Oh, you can earn 80 grand a year from the day you qualify. We'll give you no support. We'll do nothing. You get your paper certificate, and off you go." So then, basically,
that sounds very similar. I bet there's a load of guys right now watching this going, "Shit, that just sounds just like me."
Exactly, and that's the thing. So then, in 2015, I was given the opportunity to run my own academy, to set up my own business using government funding, all that sort of stuff. So we set up Southend PT Academy, and we've been delivering courses ever since. It was really successful. First year, we did 250 grand turnover with barely any marketing, and we've kept it up since. And then also in 2013, I set up PT Toolbox as a place for people, like the people I used to qualify, to go to as a resource, as a one-stop shop for all their information, their ongoing learning, resources, downloads, whatever they needed, basically. I wanted to give back to the industry what I didn't have and what I know hundreds, if not thousands of other personal trainers didn't have. And then that's also how UK PT started in 2013, I think it was, as just a small networking group. It's now got nearly 10,000 members.
I think that says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's fucking like makes my group look like a little pissy fucking get together at the weekend. But for me, it's not. It's always been about delivery rather than just numbers. Do you know what I mean? And that goes into business as well. So, Josh, do you PT anybody at the moment? Are you still doing it? Or are you not really doing it?
Only a few select clients, really. I do a couple of hours of sports massage a week and a few hours of online PT.
Yeah. So, sports massage. So similar story to Josh, and probably similar story to a lot of you guys. I was the same. I started as a full-time PT, left a career as a nurse to be my own boss because that's what I wanted to be. 2005, started Absolute. I should just point out, by the way, guys, I'm actually probably like Josh. I'm actually in my gym at the moment, so it is going to be like people are going to be coming through and shit like that. It's just annoying, but that's life. 2005 started Absolute, and they've just steadily grown it to, I think we got about 13, 14 members of staff, 2 facilities. It's life's good. Now everybody's coming through, right? And so what I found, the reason I'm kind of like passionate about the industry, man, is it's very similar to yourself, mate. Started in fitness first. Everything was good. Life was good. It's like picking apples off a tree.
Definitely.
Then they closed it, which, and they gave me 6 weeks notice, and that was a bit scary. So I had to build it up. The thing they don't talk about, and the thing I find in the industry I find frustrating is, And we'll get into it as the weeks go on, guys. We're going to be getting into it, and it'll be more, rather than us like just talking about ourselves, it'll be more shit about what's actually real. I think my problem I have is PTs don't get any information about actually being business people.
Agreed.
You know, it's always about, like you were saying earlier, just before we started recording this, Josh, about like how it's always about, you know, programming, you know, all that type of stuff. And, you know, what should I do with my clients? And, you know, where can I get this from for my client? You know, that's fine, but they just have no concept of basic business, which is why they're easily sold to when somebody says, I'll get you 100 leads. Do you know what I mean? And I'll get you 100 qualified leads or grow your fitness business. And they buy into that because they haven't actually learned any basic fucking business skills. So
exactly.
So obviously, man, we've both been doing this for a long time and we've both grown successful businesses. What do you think was the biggest game changer for you, man? You know?
I think for me personally, like for example, if you take Southend PT Academy, the biggest thing, and I think this transfers massively to personal training, is focusing on the quality of your delivery, regardless of your industry. Customer service and quality of product is always going to be at the forefront, because then, you know, people talk about having to get all these leads and everything. But if you're delivering a good service and your clients love you and they trust you and they start referring people to you, that is exactly what we did in our first year. We were basically all referrals and we just massively over-delivered on what we had promised to our sign-ups.
Yeah.
And then I'd say probably equal to that is focus on the stuff that you have to be there for. So, you know, for your PT sessions initially, fair enough, if you're doing 40, 50 hours a week, or if that's your goal, it's not a bad goal to have, but eventually that will cap your earning potential. You know, as you and I know, if you get to that point, you can only PT for so many hours a week before it starts to become, you know, diminishing returns. You're too tired to do anything. You don't have a social life. You don't have a family life, etc. So I think.
I totally agree with me. I think that's the biggest thing. I think what you need to do. So there's going to be various stages of people watching this right now. There's going to be those that are just coming into the industry, those that are thinking of leaving the industry because they've tried it and it's not working for them, those that are doing really well. I just want to point out, you know, we're not sitting here as like going that we are the experts and know all and all that. There are going to be guys out there who have far more knowledge and will have stuff they want to add to it. And all I ask is if you do that, man, just message us and let's get you in and get your point of view. This is not necessarily going to become the Josh and Wayne show. It probably is.
We will.
Probably will, but you know what I mean? It's like for, you know, overwhelm is one thing. Trying to do it all is another thing. I think if you learn basic business first, know your numbers. I talk about this all the time. Know your numbers. So if you're in your head, as an example, and Josh, man, just drop in any time. But if you say, "Oh, I want to earn £5,000 a month, and I'll be happy with 5,000," that seems to be. I don't know why, but I seem to hear that a lot. 5,000. I want to get 5,000, and you're charging £25 an hour. How many clients do you need to hit £5,000 a month?
Exactly.
Basic fucking numbers. And then when you actually work that out, that you'll actually be eating, sleeping, and shitting personal training non-stop, round the clock, without a break, without holiday, no sickness. No, nothing. You'll soon realise that it's an unrealistic aim.
Of course. And that's also, people seem to think, they go, yep, I want to earn $5,000 a month. That means X amount of clients at this hourly rate. They also forget about their tax. Do they have to pay VAT at that point? What are your expenses? How much are you saving? You know, they forget all of these things that, like you say, is just basic business knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me was the 6-figure thing. You know, like when you first start out, with 6 figures, hit 6 figures, and when you hit 6 figures, then you realise that actually, you know, immediately you've got VAT on top of that, so you just lost 20% of your.
I hate it so much.
And then you've obviously, to hit that kind of number, you need staff. So now you're paying wages as well on top of that. I think I did it at one of my talks. I did a breakdown of the 6-figure, like, you know, 6-figure, because there's a difference between a 6-figure turnover and a 6-figure profit.
Definitely.
Most in the industry are talking about 6-figure turnover when they say 6-figure club and all that shit. Right. So you hit that. So you lost 20 grand immediately. Then you've lost probably at least, if you're paying your trainers decently, you're losing, 20, 25, probably more than that per trainer. Like you said, Josh, tax, running a facility. I know there's people out there who do online, and that's fine. I'm not even going to get into what my thoughts on online, because it's just. But you know what I mean. So before you know it, I think I did it out of the board. I think it worked out that they end up making $8,000 in the year out of 100K, because what you realise is once you start going to that kind of money, you need help, you need staff.
Definitely,
you do. You can't. I mean, unless there's somebody out there, unless you're somebody out there selling £1,000 a month fucking PT packages, you know, then you've got 10 fucking clients. Then then you're doing awesome, man. You know, you're rocking.
And that comes into another point, really, that is a very, very basic part of our business course, which is learning to value yourself and your time.
Yeah.
Because we get these personal trainers. There's a guy local to us that charges £10 an hour, and that's insane. And obviously, when people do cap their income by saying, right, I can work 40 hours a week at £25 an hour, one of the obvious steps to me would be, if you get to that cap and you want to earn more money, is put your prices up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are very, very scared of doing that. You know, there's all these issues they might have. But what are your thoughts on that kind of value proposition?
I think, man, you're absolutely right. I think if you're starting out right now, a lot of trainers, I made that mistake where I valued my time a lot less than I do now, because, you know, we all do, because you want clients. You know what I mean? You want to be successful. You don't want to be going back and going, oh, I've been doing this now for 3 months and the only personal trainer is my cat. You know you want to be successful. So I think the mindset comes from, Josh, though, is that it's not necessarily about what you value yourself. It's what you, how you see the value of what you offer. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're in the mindset where you go, actually, do you know what? I don't know if I could afford that. I don't know if I would pay that. One, it probably means that your product is weak and you don't believe in your delivery. But if you fucking deliver, you over deliver, you get the results, why should you not charge for that? Why should you not charge £60 an hour? I mean, a plumber will charge you 70 quid before he even knocks on your door.
I know, right?
And we don't bat an eyelid at that. We just kind of go, well, okay, there's 70 quid. You know, if you take your car into a garage for him to have a look at, even if you just to tell you that it's fucked and you go, oh, all right then, don't bother, you're still going to give you a bill for looking at the fucking car.
Exactly. There's still time spent working, isn't it, really?
You know, and again, I've said this before at my talks, you know, if you think that your product is only worth £25 an hour, it's not about whether you think your audience out there can pay it or can afford it or will not afford it. That's about your mindset, not about your fucking customer's mindset. Because if we take London, for example, there are loads of hotels. All the hotels have a dry, clean bed in them. Well, most of them, right? Majority of them have a lot. But the prices vary rapidly, don't they? From like £100 a night to to £3,000, £4,000, £10,000 a night.
Yeah.
Right. But ultimately, let's look at it. There's a fucking bed in a room. Yeah,
exactly.
Some of them might have a sofa and a dining table.
Yeah.
Right, when you go into the high-end stuff. But ultimately, a hotel it serves the purpose of somewhere for you to put your head down at night because you're not at home.
Yeah.
Right? Your training is exactly the same. I say this to coaches all the time. You have no magic formula. Your squats are no more magical than another person's squats. You may be better at teaching technique than that other person, but ultimately a squat is a squat is a squat. So if you're going to charge £20, you're going to get £20 clients. If you charge £80, you're going to get £80 clients.
Yeah, massively.
And
I think a lot of it, as you've kind of covered already, is just that scarcity mindset. Because I know, especially when I started out as a PT, I was on the gym floor harassing people saying, oh, would you like a PT session? Would you like a free PT session? Blah, blah, blah. For basically a month, I did that until my diary was fully booked. And then I converted those free tasters to sessions. But if somebody at that time came to me and said, oh, I can't really afford £35 an hour, or I can't do this, I'd say, okay, well, how about, we do it for 20. And it was just for me. Initially, it was just about getting money into my pocket. I would say bank account, but it was mainly cash. So it was all about getting money into my hands. But then as you do start to develop, like what I've realized massively, if someone comes to me now and I say, right, if you want online PT, if you want programming and nutrition online from me, that's going to be a minimum of £120 a month. If you want sports massage, it's £60 an hour. There's no deal on that. There's no negotiation.
Yep.
If they say, oh, do you know what? It's a bit too much. I'm like, okay, cool. There's loads of people out there that will do it for less, but this is what I charge. And I think it's about having that confidence, like you say, to know that your product is strong enough that Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. If you're there at that point where you have no clients and you're just coming into the industry, my biggest advice would be having no clients is better than having 10 clients paying you £20 an hour. Now, I know that probably makes no sense, but that will come back and fucking haunt you later on.
Yeah, definitely.
It will come back and haunt you later on. So 8, 9, 10 months down the road, when you realize that you're making enough, because I think there's that like, well, I've left my job, which was paying me X. And as long as I make X from working for myself, then I'm doing okay. So if I was making $2,000 in the job and then I go and get, then I set up myself and I make $2,000 from working for myself, then my business is a success. No, it's not. You just create a fucking job for yourself with no fucking sick pay, no time off, and no, you know what I mean, no holiday.
Yeah, you may as well have stayed in your job.
You might as well stay in your job. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I had it with clients where, and it's always the way, whenever we've given people, even for PT courses or free memberships to PT Toolbox, whatever we've given them, it's always the people that you do a favor that take the piss and they fuck around. They cancel their sessions. You know, they don't show up. They're texting you at 1 a.m. saying, I just had a kebab. Like, what do I do? You know, all that shit that you will get because that client is not going to value you if you don't value yourself or your product.
You make your money from your 20%. That's where you make real money. Your 80% is just all dealing with all the fucking, just firefighting. Just having like, you know, I get my coaching clients going, how do you stop people just cancelling their payments? I don't know. You can put a contract in place, but then you got to be able to follow it up. You can pay a lot of money to a direct debit company, and the direct debit company will chase that payment for you. You can take it directly from their card. You can use Stripe or do that for you. There's so many different ways of stopping that. But ultimately, what you're doing is you're not looking at the reason why they're leaving in the first place.
Exactly.
Why have they just stopped?
The thing is, like I said initially, you know, when we first started chatting today, if you have a core product that you really believe in and you can massively give results, you can give everything that you promised and maybe some more, you know, some over delivery, then you should give that person no reason to leave your business in any way. You know, and I know, like, for example, with PT Toolbox, if a member signs up and they leave, that's probably because I haven't given something that they needed. So I'll probably follow up with them. And not only that, it gives you an opportunity to learn from that client. Because if that client leaves and they say, oh, do you know what? I was paying £100 a month to come to your boot camp 7 days a week. I've got unlimited sessions, but I just couldn't make it. Okay, is there another product that I could offer that might offset, you know, stop that from happening again?
Yeah, we don't tend to have clients just stop their payment and not tell us.
Yeah.
We'll have notifications that payments have been stopped, but they would have told one of my coaches, they would have mentioned it to somebody that, oh, by the way, I've got to stop because of this reason, that reason. I'm not making out that we don't fucking have clients stop their training because that would just be like fucking stupid. But we do, but we've got it to a point where now we don't there is no just stop and not let us know. That doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's nothing to do with fucking contracts. That's just about the delivery, and like you were saying, Josh, about the delivery, the customer service, how you've made them feel, how they've been appreciated. You know, if you're running a camp right now, especially when you start getting to 30, 40 people, and you've got your handful of favorites who are all in, they post about you on Facebook, they're talking about you all the time, and you've got that, you know, the few that turn up that are quiet and they don't really say much, you're straight in, and you don't really, you know, you say hello, how are you, how's your day, goodbye.
Yeah,
they're the ones that are going to cancel because they've had nothing else from you.
100%. I think I know. Obviously, in UK PTs and the fitness world in general, CrossFit has a bit of a controversial reputation.
Yeah,
but that is something that they've done so well is building the community aspect of their business.
Like vegans, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Just less hated. But
yeah,
I mean, CrossFit have built a community aspect around their facilities, around, you know, you've got people that are in like Siberia that are training on their own in a garage that post on the website every day, their scores and their workouts and everything. And they are made to feel like a part of it, not just a member or not just a client. They're made to feel like a part of the business.
Yep.
And I think there's a massive lesson that could be taken and used by personal trainers and gym owners and whoever's listening, because it's the industry, Josh, where rather than like learn something from it, we all knock it. You know what I mean? I call it cross shit. But you know, that's just it. But
However, you're absolutely right. There is a massive lesson to learn from loads of all these different things that come out, like, so CrossFit, it's a massive lesson of how they've created community, how they've created bonding, how they involve everybody in their sessions. That's massive. Even then, even if we look at all the way down to fucking Zumba and how the way Zumba with the energy and the community and now the popularity of it all, instead of pointing fingers going, that's shit, maybe just think about, okay, whether you agree with the training principles, you've got to take, when it comes to running a business, and this is what this is going to be about, guys. We're not going to be talking about fucking techniques and whether that pull-up is a fucking proper pull-up or not. We're literally just talking about making money. That's why you're fucking doing it. If you're doing it because you love fitness and you love training, good for you. But I'm going to guess that a good 90% of people are here to try and make some fucking income from it. So
let's hope so.
That's, what I mean? You've got to be real. So look at them and go, Andy, mate, you know what? I don't know what the fuck they're doing on that bar over there. However, they seem to have created a massive fucking community. How did they do that?
Yeah.
As the weeks go on, me and Josh are getting to a lot of other things, like marketing, all that kind of stuff. I just tend to think, though, play to your strengths. So
massively,
if all because you just don't get the numbers bit and you don't get the fucking business side or the marketing or all that kind of stuff, the first thing you should do when you make enough money, and I don't mean just make enough money to go out and buy yourself a new fucking car, right? You make enough money, you kind of go, right, I'm going to invest that money in my business. So I suck at the marketing side, so I'll hire somebody to do the marketing, or I suck at fucking website. The amount of PTs I see making their own websites. Don't bother, because that's first impressions. Your website looks shit, looks amateur. You're telling the customer, I'm shit and amateur. Don't do it. Better not have one. Create a landing page.
Yeah, it's just insane. I see it. Well, I've actually, because the thing is, in both of my businesses, so my fiance that I think you met at one of our events, B, she is very, very good at organization, admin, kicking me in the ass when I'm not doing my job properly, all that sort of stuff. So she's like effectively admin, organization, customer service.
Yeah.
And for me, my job is content writing and delivering, marketing strategies, all that, the stuff that I enjoy. I enjoy running the business and I enjoy writing content for PTs. That's what I'm good at. And then my colleague, Steve, he does all the tutoring. He does all the assessing, and we each have our roles and responsibilities, but people just forget that, it's so lonely being a self-employed PT, and you think you have to be a social media guru. You have to be an accountant. You have to be your personal assistant. You have to be a PT. And if you just outsource some of these stuff, when you start to get the money, it makes life so much easier. And
no, I agree. No, sorry, mate. I was just going to say, and you're absolutely right about like outsourcing. That's fucking huge. And you touched on something about having an admin. Again, I think before you bring in another, I find some PTs are finding that it's difficult to reply to emails, answer messages, all that kind of stuff. Right? Get somebody to do that.
Yeah, massively. I mean, the other option is to give yourself a real thorough and critical analysis of your skills, your weaknesses, the stuff that you really hate doing, the stuff you love doing, and then just fucking get better at it. So I know my time management skills aren't the best. So I know that every week I have my calendar. As soon as someone messages me and says, "Oh, right, we need to do a Skype call at 3:00," it goes straight in my diary, because if not, I'll probably forget. Yeah. And then I look like a fucking clown. So, work on your weaknesses. And there are some things you can't improve, but if you can improve it, then just go and work on it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a lot cheaper to get an admin to take all the shit that you're doing in the day. So if there's 3 or 4 hours in the evening where you're having to sit there, you're not talking to your wife or your husband, not playing with your kids because I've got to just answer these emails, just got to reply to these messages, I've been so flat out. Dude, get somebody to do that for you. Pay them before you pay another coach, before you hire another coach. But in the meantime, you might be thinking, well, I can't. At what point do I have that kind of money where I can hire somebody to take care of my marketing and take care of my admin, take care of this, take care of that? And Facebook, as we were talking earlier, Josh, jokingly about how everybody now is a Facebook expert and how to sell Facebook ads. My thing, I truly believe if you're at that point right now where you're going, look, that's fine, guys, but I don't have the money to do that. And I could be 6-7 months struggling down the road before I even have that money to hire somebody. Do probably like Josh has done and like I've done, spend the time. So instead of watching fucking Netflix or jumping on and playing Xbox, and I see it in fucking groups where people are talking about the box set they've been watching. Drop your fucking box set. You ain't got time for that shit. Instead of watching box sets, you should be doing hours of learning about Facebook. Facebook have loads of fucking videos on how to do that ads, how to market it. Then you go to YouTube and check out some of the guys that are out there that talk to you about conversion ads, fucking targeting, everything you need to know about running a business from a marketing point of view. That's already been produced in video format somewhere. You just have to spend the time to fucking watch it.
The other thing as well is that I see with personal trainers all the time is they never leave the industry for advice. So just my 2 cents here, if you're getting trained on Facebook ads by a personal trainer that has used Facebook ads, then you're probably getting fucking done for your money. If they're charging you, say, $1,000 a month and they're not a specialist that has qualifications experience in that particular branch of marketing or whatever, then it's probably just someone trying to make some money off of you.
Yeah. Just even having the hours in the game, just having the hours in the game of understanding what I've spent money hiring Steve and Craven, to learn from them, learn from him. I've hired other guys to learn from them, because I want to know how to do it. Not necessarily because I want to become a fucking Facebook guru, because I want to know that when I speak to these guys, and I do actually hire somebody to do my ads for me, I can back it up. I know exactly what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, massively.
But I just want to know. I want to know it. I want to understand it. It's as simple as that.
And the thing is, it doesn't mean that because you know it, you have to then take that over as a taskmaster in your business. It's not like you then have to spend another 10 hours.
Yeah.
It just means you're going to be that little bit more informed about when you do hire someone or when you do outsource it, whatever. And then actually, something you said a minute ago, when you've got clients scheduling in and stuff, something else that can really help before you get to that point of hiring other people is just starting to automate parts of your business. So something really simple that we do is we use something called calendly.com.
Yep.
And that's just an online calendar. It syncs to my phone and my business partner's phone. And whenever we have a student or a prospect, we just send them the link to the particular event type they need. So an enrollment, a one-to-one tutoring session, sports massage, whatever.
Yep.
And they book it in. They're completely independent. And we don't have to deal with anything until they show up. They get sent the reminders. We get sent reminders. It goes into our calendar, their calendar. And that saves us probably about 2 to 3 hours a week. But then if you do that with your social media, you do it with your email marketing, you do it with your sign-up process, you do it with direct debits, you can start to save chunks of time. And then you've got more time to train clients, you've got more time to go to networking events, do whatever, drink coffee in Starbucks, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
It's just so easy once you know how and you think outside of your business as a
Absolutely.
PT.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's that, if I had to give, we'll just close because obviously otherwise we're going to smash through fucking every topic in the industry.
Yeah.
Just this session. So I think if I was to give advice to people right now, if your business has kind of done that for this last 11 months where, it's maybe gone up a little bit, but it's kind of done this and not really grown, I would probably start looking at and tracking everything that you do within your business. Track your time, how much time you spend doing what you do, how much free time do you have. And we're very good at lying to ourselves about our free time. Like Josh just said, be fucking brutally honest and audit yourself. Am I really making the most of every time? Yes, you've got to have some shutdown time. I get that. But you need to focus on the business, learn about the things that that are going to move you forward. Your business should be fucking progressing month and month and month. It's about growth. It has to be about growth. You may disagree, but personally, I'm in business to grow, not to just make enough money to pay fucking bills.
100%. And I think as well, like kind of adding on to your point, because I massively agree. I think you need to audit yourself and your business, know your numbers, know your weaknesses and strengths. But then I think also it's very, very easy to get swamped with the day-to-day, like you say, putting out fires. I could spend all day doing my social marketing, social media posts. I could spend all day writing new guides and, whatever. And then I lose sight of the big picture because I get so bogged down with all this, these 50 to-do lists. So I think prioritize the things that are going to grow your business without you sacrificing your delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Guys, if you've enjoyed the show, comment below. Any questions you have for us so we can do the next show for you, we'd love to answer them. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you all soon. What are we going to call this show?
I have no idea. I like the Josh and Wayne show. I think that sounds pretty good. It's simple.
Chris, who's my manager, just saying, it says Bill and Ben, businessmen.
100%.
But I think, I don't know, let's just Fit Biz show, I don't know, fucking whatever you want to call it. We'll come up with something funky at the end of it anyway. Anyway, have a great weekend. Myself and Josh will be with you next week. Any questions, hit us with them, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.